All right, what is going on, guys, gals, aliens, and degenerate crypto enthusiasts? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to Dano Crypto. On this channel, we show you guys how to make simple, effective, and easy moves in the cryptocurrency ecosystem. So today we're going to be getting into some of the news that is PHEMEX predicts that Bitcoin could hit $290,000 by early 2026. We're a little bit more bullish than that, but that's if historical trends continue. And then historical data suggests Bitcoin might reach the range of 160,000 and 290,000 depending on the market conditions that we've been presenting on this channel. And then we have also Ripple's RLUSD stablecoin that is going to be launching very soon. And actually, I think the stablecoin today, Ripple is launching it today, initially available on 5 platforms with plans for further expansion. And then we have also that we've talked about Athena, ENA has its own stablecoin as well. And this could actually propose a lot of liquidity. But the thing that's key to watch here is that Athena Labs has released USDTB, a stablecoin backed by BlackRock's tokenized fund shares. And so that is going to be enhancing all this multi-chain functionality, all of the stuff that we've been talking about, how the stablecoin market is actually probably going to be one of the markets and the sectors of crypto that's going to see the first influx of the liquidity, because then once these big institutions start to figure out where they want to put their money and what chain they want to use, whether it be Ripple, whether it be Athena, whether it be Solana or whatever it may be, Cardano, whatever's going to have the best stablecoin provider and throughput, maybe Tron. I think Tron has always been in the forefront of stablecoin issuance and having the option of major liquidity. And so this might be why Tron is kind of coming back up, partnering with World Liberty Financial, partnering with the Trump administration, donating a lot of money to the Trump fund, and also being very much in the forefront of what is happening in the meme space as well. So guys, we have a lot to cover. We got the market overview, total global crypto market cap, $3.7 trillion right now, and with the volume of 270 billion, and the Bitcoin price sitting currently at a whopping $106,000, $558 per Bitcoin. And guys, it's happening now. My friends are calling me. They're asking me, "Hey, is it bad if I buy at 106? Am I buying the top?" I had at the same time, I have my neighbor flagging me down, wondering like, what's going on with this? This is it just gonna keep going up? And so it's amazing. We're in such a cool time in the market, where the sky's the limit. We're in price discovery. We have all of the bullish signs leading to Valhalla, but I just want to tell you guys it will not come without its side quests, battles, and it's just like when you're running down the road in Oblivion or Skyrim or wherever, Elder Scrolls realm that you're in, and all of a sudden you get stopped by a bandit and you gotta take the bandit down. Or there's a woman that's like, "Help! Something's in the I gotta get," and then you get diverted. There's always going to be things that need to be done, of course, but ultimately the end journey, and the end result is that we are in Valhalla territory, 150k, 200k. I mean, it just keeps going and going. Pauses, keeps going and going, cools off a little bit, and then just keeps going and going, because of ultimately, guys, Bitcoin. Best analogy that I can give you guys now is that when you think about the dollar and how you've spent money your entire life, when someone gives you $50, you got $50. If you have $1, you've just equated it to say, okay, I have $1 of the United States dollar, USD. And so whenever you think about you don't think about the market cap of the dollar, or like how much of the dollar is in circulation in terms of market cap, because you just don't. You just think of it in terms of, okay, I have $1 million, so then there you go, I have $1 million. But you don't think that, okay, I have $1 million of a certain amount of whatever is in the supply in terms of the market cap. But this is how Bitcoin is going to be viewed, is that you're not going to start to think about Bitcoin in terms of the price. Like, you're seeing this price right here, and at a point, it's going to be worth millions per coin in the next 10 to 15 years. And maybe even sooner than that, in the next 5 years, we could be closer to $1 million per coin than we might realize. And so then you're not going to be thinking about price at that point. You're just going to be thinking, I gotta get chunks, even just portions, because this is what things are going to eventually probably get priced in Bitcoin. People are going to want it so bad that it's going to be such a scarce asset that they're going to be willing to offload their physical asset goods that they don't want to hold anymore to get more Bitcoin. And that might be things that you want. People have multiple properties. All these people have like tons of houses sitting on real estate. And imagine these people missed out on Bitcoin because they were holding real estate hard. And now they're like, man, I want Bitcoin right now. And maybe you want a mansion. Maybe you want that supercar. Because guess what? These people are going to give these things away for Bitcoin. And so you're going to be able to use your Bitcoin as a premium to be able to get physical items that you might actually want. And so that's what I'm starting to think about, is that when you have Bitcoin later down in the line and other cryptocurrencies, I might even go as far as saying Pepe. If you have Pepe, imagine you're in the Pepe club and you're a Pepe millionaire and you're able to prove it. Now you're part of some type of thing where you get an airdrop. I don't know. You get invited to some special networking event that's hosted by Pepe holders. I mean, the sky's the limit. Some major brand that's like high dollar, luxury brand ends up releasing a Pepe item, and the only way you can get it is if you're like a Pepe holder and you have a certain amount. I mean, that's kind of how I think about it. So you have to think about like 10 years down the line of being a Pepe holder. What can it get you? What will you be able to achieve as being a Pepe holder? I don't know. That's where my mind goes. But the sky's the limit, guys. And we're so early. We're so early. How I can prove that we're so early is you pull up this chart, the total market cap. And please, guys, stay with me to the very end. We're going to break down technical analysis here in the first part of the channel. Then we're going to go down the news. We're going to break down a couple of tweets and funny memes that we found across the space in the past 24 hours and things. We're going to show the charts. We're going to show the trades. And we're going to show a couple coins that we think, that I'm keeping my eye on. And also a narrative that you guys, I think, should start to pivot and put your attention towards, because I've been getting the signs now. Every time I go to a Bitcoin conference, I always there's something is leading into Bitcoin becoming more of a more usability. And I know the original thought of Bitcoin is peer-to-peer transaction cash, digital cash system that is validated by the miners, limited supply. And that's amazing. But then if we want to be able to use the liquidity and use the indexing and use what Bitcoin is and then provide stuff on top of it, then it becomes this amazing giant ecosystem where there's just as much opportunity as doing it on Bitcoin as it is on Ethereum or whatever it may be. So I really want to start going down that rabbit hole of how these chains like Zeus or Stacks or whatever are trying to bring and bridge Bitcoin DeFi and make it a reality, because then it makes Bitcoin more fun. You would say Bitcoin maximalists would hate that idea, but I would say that it is really important for the market to be open to the idea that, with the help of the developers and all of these smart people know way more about this stuff than I do, can actually open up the gates to some different type of, Bitcoin stuff. And it's really cool. I'm seeing it happen at the conferences. There's so much Bitcoin DeFi and meme culture that's being allowed at these conferences. And so this is what's interesting, guys. This is the total market cap. This is everything. 3.6 trillion. 3.6 trillion is where we're at. Now, if you were to look at the market cap, let me see, asset market cap. Is it asset market cap? Or infinite market cap? We'll just use this one. Okay. We're just going all assets. And then let's see gold. Okay, so NVIDIA, we're at Microsoft, which is, that's one company. So all of crypto, one company. And eventually, all of these companies are going to put Bitcoin on the balance sheet. So then you just kind of think, okay, slivers of all of this is then going to go into here. Which industries? A lot of it being AI. A lot of it being privacy, storage, node operation, applications for the business, being able to have a DApp to connect to your business using a smart contract. This is how all that money, this is where all that money's going to come from. Because people ask, how actually could it get to this point and then eventually being to where we're at 15 trillion for Bitcoin, 7 trillion for ETH, 4 trillion for the rest of the market. Because that's close to gold's market cap. Gold being at 17 trillion, you got Bitcoin coming up close to 3 trillion. Eventually, it's going to swallow up gold and then be one of the top performing hard money assets to be in a digital age right now. And it's becoming apparent with all of these companies flowing into the ETFs. Look, we've had very little sell pressure into the ETFs. So if you're looking at this as the table for the Bitcoin inflows for the ETFs, and you can see here with Ethereum, they've still been buying, but it's slowed up a little bit, and we're going to get into it. So the title of the video, what is going on with ETH, and we're just going to get into it. Why is capital rotating from ETH to Solana and to other things, and also Ethereum Foundation. Every time we get close to breaking resistance and starting to break out, the Ethereum Foundation and these soy boys come up and start selling. Vitalik then empties his wallet, has to go and take his girlfriend out to a meal excursion of 24-hour eating fest worth millions of dollars, and all ETH goes down back and goes and hits resistance. We're getting tired of it. But I really do think, though, obviously, ETH is overdue for the breakout. ETH is overdue for the breakout. You can see dominance is kind of going down right now, being eaten up by Bitcoin dominance, trending back up, getting close to where it was when we hit some resistance and started going back down into these levels of the lower 50s. You look at the daily, we went as low in December. This is crazy, almost back to 53%. And then we noticed that when that happened, we had a lot of the altcoins start to pick up some speed. And you can see on the monthly, we had basically a shift. Dominance went down on Bitcoin, and then we started to get a lot of the inflows back into the OG old cycle coins, HBAR, Algorand, Tezos, XRP. What was the other one? Stellar Lumens, Algorand. All these coins started to gain traction, and on the monthly and just in the past couple weeks, we're gaining so much traction. And so it kind of proves that even with just holding some of these fundamental coins and DCAing into these things, and also possibly keeping track of the lending protocols, kind of like Curve, MakerDAO, any kind of staking protocols. Fiat Kid said, lads, this is just because all of the money is going through meme coins on Solana. Yeah, so Solana, is Solana pumping right now? I know Solana is actually probably picking up some steam again. So let's check on Solana. Let's see how Solana's doing. We've been waiting to get back into a Solana trade, so we kind of missed that low point of what was it? How low did it go? It went as low as 204. Oh my gosh, that's how low it went. Oh my god, that would have been that would have been such a good entry, because that might be the lowest it's gonna go here. That was it. Guys, that was it. I mean, that was the entry. I mean, if you were trying to get into a sold trade, that was the one. That was when the market just took a crap. Just took a plunge. That was when Bitcoin went down to 92. It sent everything, and that was your opportunity. That was the buying opportunity to scoop up some cheaper prices. But I will say, it doesn't mean that's going to be the last time. Like, as you can see, it's not mega giant green candles going all the way to the upside. There's always some consolidation. There's always these resistance levels. I mean, you can see here, key resistance established at 163 across this chart, and basically was validated multiple times to send it to the downside. And then we have a lot of areas in here which established support at 167. You can see here, 167, bringing it back up here. And then if you look at, let's see, the weekly on this chart, you can see a pattern here. You can see the cup and handle pattern. You can see key resistance. Let's see. Key resistance right here at 253 from the all-time high of last year, or not last year, but the last bull cycle. And so what we're seeing right here is basically waiting on the fence for price discovery. Everyone's calling for, okay, Sol can get to $1,000. I think that's definitely doable for 100%. But you guys got to know that there's going to be massive selling pressure at some of these points when we start to break, new all-time highs. I mean, we see it with Bitcoin. We've been in price discovery with Bitcoin, and you can see in its ascent, we have established now new resistance levels. So all up through this level now, if you're looking at it on, say, the 4 hour, now these are all going to be established new levels for any type of ranges going there, like down or up. As you can see here, once we hit 103, we established and went back down into now a support level. Now this is a new established support level in the 91 to 92 range. Right there. By these patterns. And so now that we're sitting and we caught resistance, this is a new resistance at 108,000. This is a new resistance at 103,000. But then also, Fiat Kid, you can also look at the RSI. You can look at the MACD. The MACD also can give you a really good indication of if we're going to keep building momentum or is it exhausted. You can see here, once it gets up to this point, and last time that we came up to about this level and broke a new all-time high, we swooped down and we created a head for an inverse head and shoulders. And so right here, you can see that on the MACD, on the 4 hour for Bitcoin, it's looking like it wants to cross, because when we get across of this, you can see of this blue line over the orange. We get forward momentum to the upside, and you can see whenever we've had it, the orange line crossing the blue, matched with the histogram going red with less volume, more sellers than buyers coming in, then that's what ends up breaking down the chart a little bit. So it's hard to say right now, honestly. It's just hard to say but it's good though. We're kind of just sitting at this level. We're just kind of sitting. So it's not a bad thing. This is just, it could decide to take a dump and go right back into these levels. It could stay sideways. As long as we're staying above the middle line here on the Bollinger Band, but you can see where it's squeezed. Like this area, if you look at this area, you can see it got pinched. It pinched down. And what happened? It sprung. So we might have to go in like this and curve in. You can see it how it curves out right here. And all it needs to do is pinch in, which means it could, from this point, go right into that level, and then we could see what happens. Or the volume can come in, bulls can gain control, and then we can actually start to go up through this level. And you can see the same thing happened here with Ethereum, where you have a pinch, and then it widens out again. And as long as it doesn't hit this level right here, then we wouldn't get any more downside. But see, with Ethereum, we have people selling. We got Ethereum Foundation selling coins. Where's the here it is. Yeah, Ethereum Foundation just sold 100 ETH for 402,000 DAI. Again, in the past 7 days, they have sold 200 ETH for 776,000 DAI. They've sold 4,467 ETH for over 12 million on an average price of $2,800 of ETH. Every time ETH is getting to that point where it's over 4K, it just seems like they want to sell. So if they'll just stop selling and hold their freaking ETH, it would be good for all of us, right? I mean, geez. Yeah, the Ethereum Foundation 6 hours ago sold 100 ETH again. And so, yeah, basically a total of 12 million this year, 4,466 ETH from the Ethereum Foundation. But this is bullish, though. So we have the FTX is starting to actually do the redistribution of the $16 billion that is owed to the creditors 60 days after the record date of January 3rd. So, but it's going to be in stables. They're not getting it back in the cryptos that they had invested in the platform. Those all got liquidated mostly into stables to be able to pay everyone back. And so this is very good news. And it's going to be actually, it's going to be flowing through BitGo and Kraken. So basically, they're going to have a program that if you accept it through the Kraken platform, then you'll be able to do something like that, and also with BitGo, maybe some other ones too. So there's going to be a ton of liquidity coming back into the market. What do you think these people are going to do? I don't think they're going to liquidate it back into, or sell it into cash or sell it into fiat. They're probably going to put most of it back in the market because it'll be like, God, I could have had a lot more, and they're going to FOMO into the market. I got some, I recently got another check from Voyager. It wasn't much. It was like, $500, $600 or something like that. So what was left over, and I just put it immediately back into the market. I was just like, I'm putting this right back into the market. It's where it needs to go. But yeah, ETH, yeah, Crypto Glenn, yeah, the ETH, I thought it was going to push, man. I really thought it was going to do, it did well. It's not like it didn't do well. It actually didn't do too bad. So for ETH, it was not bad, but it really just, I think the selling pressure was just too much. I mean, look at this. Even coming at this point at 4K, look at this candle on the 4 hour. It was just like dump city. And then you look at the daily, you can see here yesterday, it's just, look at this candle. The moment that it touched the top of the band here, trying to get to this point where to clear the resistance, actually turn this into support. This is the level that I've had marked. I was like, if we can just break 41.5, like 41.5 or 41.4, we would have been going up this trend line right here. We would have just been going whoop. We would have just hit it. We would have been on the way to 5K, because then there would have been more sentiment, less. There would have been them selling, the Ethereum Foundation selling and all that stuff. It probably wouldn't have been enough to push the price down. But I always have to think that now that Ethereum is part of the ETF game, there may be wanting cheaper prices. So it's just one of those things that we've all been waiting for ETH, but I still believe that ETH will surprise us all when it has the ETF effect that Bitcoin had, and it could send it up into basically this territory right here. Like up to, between 10 to 20K, bull case being like really, like, I think being about 15K. Oh yeah. Yeah, for micro trading, of course, when you're looking at the smaller time frames, always a you want to go between the 4 hour, the 5 minute. I like the 45 minute. I don't know why. I like looking at Bitcoin on the 45 minute for looking at altcoin trades, because it's like you can see whenever the fluctuation of Bitcoin on the 45 minute, it immediately translates into some of these altcoins. You can be like, okay, I can go long, I can go short, depending on which one in direction it's going to be throwing you. And then, but really the 4 hour and the daily time frame, and just kind of correlating, you can get a lot of the different formations and charting on the 4 hour, and then to get a more zoomed out perspective of if it's bullish or bearish on the long term, obviously you want to look at the daily. Like, for instance, on the daily chart of the sandbox, you can gather a lot of data and say, okay, this thing is starting to push back up and test into some of the support areas of the previous bull market. So if it's able to sustain these levels and not hit resistance, which was established after a pump of the 2021 run, then this could be an indication that this could be something to look at for a mega run to the upside. And we've been seeing that with AI, no product, just hopes of something, people speculate hard into these tokens. And so the same thing is going to happen with these gaming tokens that people remember from the last cycle. They said, oh, like now there's actually a product. Maybe there is actually a product, and we can actually invest into it and gain rewards from it, from maybe, the Sandbox or Mana, Decentraland, the Ape token, Ape Chain, Other Side, whatever it is, whatever metaverse thing that is actually even producing a product. At this point, it doesn't matter. Is the token being traded? What's what's the chart look like? Are people throwing money into a specific narrative? Whether it be like, MMORPG style metaverse, or just like, sim style metaverse, social media platform, whatever it may be, a metaverse to represent your brand, spots inside of the metaverse universes. So then when people are walking around, you have your brand as the first one they see as they're walking around in the metaverse. And if you believe in all of that, then you might just, okay, I'm just going to buy a little bit of the sand token. Because then even if it just gets somewhat of a slivers of the market share of what's the potential of people investing in gaming in these experiences, then you are potentially making 1,000% move to the upside on one particular coin, sand. And then you can go as far as, okay, there's these gaming studios like Gala. There's the infrastructure narrative that is backing the crypto games and helping them scale, like Immutable X with the Passport. Chains that are gaming chains, like inside of the ecosystems. I mean, you can go wild. Yeah, Super, Beam, Prime, all good stuff. Yeah. Yeah, guys, smash up the like button. Really do appreciate you guys being here. Thank you for tuning in, and let me know if the sound is okay. I hope my mic's not too loud. I cranked up the gain a little bit more so I can have the microphone like away from my face a little bit more. So let me know if the sound is good. Hit the like button if the sound is good. And we're going to get into some of the clips of Michael Saylor on the news recently. Smash up the like if you would like to hear some Michael Saylor analogies. We'll show the Michael Saylor tracker right here. The Michael Saylor tracker. It just shows you that with conviction, you too can become a billionaire. He's up 73% all time with a profit of $19 billion. Average holding size is at $46.9 billion. And every Monday for the past couple of weeks, he has been, or in his company, MicroStrategy, has been buying Bitcoin. And it's been in the billions. Now he's really been up in the ante where it's like, okay, it's almost like almost to $3 billion worth of Bitcoin every Monday. And it's just starting this trend that every Monday there's a major purchase of Bitcoin. So they're not slowing down. And it's everywhere across this chart. They're buying Bitcoin. I mean, here was a purchase at this point right here, 650 million, 10 million, 100 million, 15 million. I mean, just mega purchases. Almost a half a billion right there. That was close to a quarter of a billion, close to half a billion. I mean, they really started to up the ante. And what's funny is they at the top prices is when they even bought more. That's what's hilarious. It's like it's always at the highest prices that they still just go all in, because I think Michael Saylor is just much of a degenerate as we are. He's like, it went higher, it went even higher. No, buy more. Buy more. No, you can't just... No, this time because last time we only bought 252 million. No, at this price, there's no way we're going to buy 414 million. What are you, crazy? Those are called poor people. All right. So let's pull up Michael Saylor. So we can't keep trying to do impressions of him. We actually just got to pull the guy up. All right, so let's listen to Michael Saylor here. If you guys got a little bit of time. Yeah, he says he'll perpetually buy the top forever. I mean, so let's just listen to what he says. And there's actually some really good stuff in here. It's 12 minutes long, so hopefully you guys can wait. You can have some patience. But this is actually a good segment. They get into. They show Jim Cramer and Trump at the NASDAQ whenever he rang the bell. A little clip of that. Talk about a few things. All right, so. Guys, let me know if the audio is always good, and make sure you guys are smashing up the like, hitting the subscribe button, and dinging the bell to be notified when I go live, because we are trying to break down everything that we're collecting on a daily basis, giving you our technical analysis, our thesis on how you can even build a strong portfolio in this cryptocurrency markets and how to do it, how to analyze these charts, do it yourself, build up your own rabbit hole of information to where then you can be successful in these bull markets, in these cycles, and you will not get shaken out of this crazy roller coaster that is crypto. But you got to hit the like button. You got to subscribe. And you have to share this channel with your friends, because that is the only way that we're going to build up the Dojo crew. So check all the links out in the description as well. It's a great way that you can directly support the channel. We have a lot of amazing partners. We're partnered up with PHEMEX, COINFLARE, OURBIT, and all of the links in the description are provided with amazing bonuses specifically to my community, especially with COINFLARE recently. Now you get free $20, and it's also an opportunity to get some Flare points, which you can get real world items that are very much valuable, things that are useful, and all you have to do is put in some trades, and with using my link, it helps directly support the channel. So, all right, check this out, guys.
How about crypto? Look at Bitcoin. hitting an all-time high on continued enthusiasm over the new administration, policies. Here's what President-elect Trump told our Jim Cramer during his visit right here to the New York Stock Exchange just last week about crypto.
Your embracing of crypto, very different from the previous administration. Strategic Petroleum Reserve like for crypto?
Yeah, I think so. We're going to do something great with crypto because we don't want China or anybody else, and not just China, but others are embracing it, and we want to be the head.
One big beneficiary of the Bitcoin rally has been MicroStrategy. The stock up more than 500% just this year. MicroStrategy will now be added to the NASDAQ 100 on December 23rd in its annual rebalancing. The company currently holds 439,000 Bitcoin after announcing another purchase just this morning. Joining us is MicroStrategy co-founder and executive chairman Michael Saylor. Well, you're the guest of the moment. So is there a limit to how much Bitcoin you're going to acquire?
No, I've said we'll just keep buying the top forever. Every day is a good day to buy Bitcoin. We look at it as cyber Manhattan. I would have bought Manhattan 100 years ago, 200 years ago, every year for the past 300 years. You pay a little bit more than the person that bought Manhattan before you, but it's always a good investment to invest in the economic capital of the free world.
Do you think that Trump is serious about creating this Bitcoin reserve, and how would that work?
I think he is. And, you know, if you think about the Louisiana Purchase, California and Alaska, we paid $40 million to buy 75% of the United States. Nobody remembers the $40 million. But if you know where the money's going, you should buy the property, buy the future. And in this case, the Lummis plan calls for 1 million Bitcoin acquisition. That's worth $16 trillion to the country. RFK proposed 4 million Bitcoin that would be worth about $56 trillion. There's room for Trump to go beyond that, even $81 trillion in gains. And that's against $36 trillion in the U.S. national debt. So all the capital outside the U.S. and all of the antiquated 20th century capital is going to flow into digital assets. It's going to flow into the Bitcoin network. And the logical thing is for the U.S. to buy it now and own the future.
And just chase it up at any price?
I think just a progressive acquisition of...
Hell yeah, brother. Chase it up at every price.
...of it makes sense. Keep in mind, if you bought Manhattan from 1650 to 1700 a little bit every single year, it would have been a good acquisition. Right now, we can buy, the United States could literally buy 20-25% of the Bitcoin network, either by trading out its existing gold stores or just by borrowing a small trace amount of money. And so the Bitcoin network could go up by a factor of 100. You might as well buy it before it 100x's.
Your Manhattan analog is really interesting, Michael, because the reason it would have made sense to buy Manhattan is because they agreed it's going to be on a grid going north. And I wonder if you see similar policy analogs right now in crypto. Are we that organized?
You know, the world wants a digital assets framework, and the United States has a great opportunity to define a digital assets framework. We need to define the definitions of a digital commodity, a currency, a security, a token, an NFT, and an asset-backed token. And we need the rights and responsibilities of issuers and the exchanges and the owners. But that takes consensus from the executive branch, the House, the Senate, and the industry, and we didn't have that for the past 4 years. The opportunity for the U.S., it's to issue $10 trillion of digital currency and back the dollar. It's to capture $50 trillion of capital gain on the digital capital network. And I do believe with the digital assets framework that this administration could put forward, there's no reason why we won't see $500 trillion of assets tokenized over the next 21 years and $280 trillion in capital flow into the digital capital network that is Bitcoin.
See, Michael Saylor gets it. He's very confident to use those numbers of $500 trillion of tokenized treasury assets that are available, that are going to be eventually tokenized and be able to be represented through the blockchains, whatever is being picked, whatever is being used. And that's why it is important for something like maybe Cardano to exist, of being able to handle transactions or whatever it may be, whatever said blockchain is going to be the one that can process the transactions. And then that's what is going to be used the most. And this is where, Nate Dogg is, he sees the future. He sees that, he's like, wow, this is like a digital Manhattan, and grabbing pieces of it in blocks is where the value is going to be so substantial. And, and actually now, now that I'm remembering something, I remembered that I haven't checked my Ordinals wallet in a long time, and I'm going to check it right now. So let's check it together. It's been like way too long. Hopefully I don't have to reinstall the, okay, cool. Oh, the platform is really changed up. I haven't been on this in a while. Hold on. Well, hopefully the things that I own are worth like millions of dollars. Let's see. Let's go to my wallet. Okay, I have a barrels of oil. Oh, nice. Okay, sweet. This is cool. Okay, all right. So guys, this is my journey into Ordinals. Okay, so I have $14 of Bitcoin. I have the Karma token. I have 930 Karma tokens. And then I guess I got a Ruins. I got barrels of oil, and it's worth $10.